New mask.
What's that?
Same task.
Okay, so Avengers Doomsday. The cast, for the most part, has been completely announced, and we're going to kind of break it down a little bit before we get started. You know the usual thing, man. Like, subscribe, drop a comment on how you feel about the cast announcements. Who are you excited to see? Who are you excited to not see? Who do you think should have been involved in this movie? So far, I'm going to talk about some of the names that got me excited initially, some of the names that didn't get me excited, and who I'd like to see. The first name is pretty obvious. Thor is my favorite Avenger, and he is in this movie. So obviously I am excited to see him in Avengers Doomsday. My only, I don't know if it's a complaint or if it's more so a question, but why do we keep putting Thor on Earth? I want Thor in space. I want him in the galaxy. I want him exploring different, just out there. Like, get him out of Earth. Stop handcuffing a space god to planet Earth. Like, let's move on from that. And that's for me personally. The second person that I'm excited to see is Namor. I did not think we would see him after Wakanda Forever. So for him to be back in this movie, I feel like I can kind of predict what his role is going to be for Avengers Doomsday. Shuri is going to realize what kind of threat Dr. Doom is and recruit Namor to, help out like with his people and all that stuff. The third one, and this is the I'm conflicted on this one too, I'm not gonna lie. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a great character. His movie was great, but that movie came out almost 5 years ago, and we haven't heard from him, haven't seen anything. He hasn't been mentioned, and now he's gonna just pop up in Avengers Doomsday. Like, back in the day, Shang-Chi would have had a sequel to his movie come out before appearing in an Avengers movie, or he would have at least been a secondary character in someone else's movie, like in Doctor Strange or in the Hawkeye TV series. Like, he would have showed up somewhere else. You just don't show up in a movie, we never hear from you again, and then you pop up in an Avengers movie. Like, that just does not happen. So I'm happy to see Shang-Chi. I'm just disappointed that we haven't seen more of him the last 5 years. Obviously, then we're going to move a little bit faster because there's a lot of characters in this movie. Obviously, the Fantastic Four, I'm super excited to see their solo outing, and I personally think this is where we're going to get introduced to Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is in the Fantastic Four movie, so the fact that they already have a movie coming out and they're going to be appearing in another movie kind of sets the tone. I cannot talk. Sets the tone and sets the stage for the Fantastic Four to be a bigger part of the MCU right now and going forward. And last but not least, the people that I am excited to see in Avengers Doomsday, the old school X-Men. Like, the guy that played Cyclops, Patrick Stewart, the original Magneto, the guy that played Nightcrawler in X2. Like, these are some of the big heavy hitters. Now, I think at some point we see Wolverine. I would like to see Jean Grey, the original Jean Grey. I would like to see Halle Berry back as Storm. It is cool that Channing Tatum is back as Gambit. So not too mad about that. I still think we'll see some of those people that haven't been announced either in this movie or Secret Wars. So some of the names that didn't get me excited for this movie, if you watch the review I did on Captain America 4, you'll kind of see this one coming. But Not excited for the Falcon to be in this movie. Not gonna lie. Like, he's just there. Like, this guy could show up in this movie and die, and I'm not gonna feel anything. He can show up and do something super important, and I won't care. I just do not care about this character. He's not intriguing. He's not interesting. If he wasn't anywhere, it wouldn't matter. Second off, not super excited about the Thunderbolts. I'm excited to see their movie, and this could change. I could change my mind about seeing the Thunderbolts depending on how the movie goes. The movie that they have goes. So I'll put that in the middle. And third but not least, Ant-Man. Yeah, Ant-Man should have died in Ant-Man 3. So the fact that he is going to be in another Avengers movie, it just feels like there are no real consequences in the MCU at this point, where, you know, no one's really going to suffer. No one's really going to be hurt. No one's going to be harmed. No one's going to die. Now, the characters that I want to see, and these are two big ones, and I think the reason we don't see these two characters in this movie specifically is because they're too powerful and they have to be nerfed every time they're in a movie, and it's Doctor Strange and Wanda. I know Wanda allegedly died in Doctor Strange 2, but we never see a body, and it's never confirmed, and they introduced the idea of dream walking, so her being quote-unquote dead is not really, you know, finite. Doctor Strange went into a different universe because of a possible incursion. And you know what? Let me know in the comments at the end of Doctor Strange 2, if you can remember the woman's name that he jumped through the portal with without Googling it. Drop it in the comments, because I don't think you guys remember. I don't think anybody remembers who that person was or what their name was. But if you do, drop it in the comments. I will be stunned. I will honestly be stunned if anybody can put that in the comments. Okay, so I guess some of my concerns about this movie, because it's such a large cast. It's almost over 20 superheroes, 20 action, 20 comic book movie stars. I hope that every time we are introduced to, like, the original X-Men or Shang-Chi or Namor, like, hopefully we don't get that cameo break like we got from Spider-Man 3, like when we were introduced, or when we saw like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. There's like that 2-second pause of, okay, this is where the audience is supposed to applaud and cheer because we're just now seeing these people. Hopefully they don't do it, and if they do it, hopefully it's not as cringy, because go back and watch Spider-Man 3 and you will see how obvious it is that they left that space there for the crowds to cheer. Something that I want to see happen, that if this movie doesn't do, I will be pretty disappointed. They have to kill off some characters. Everybody can't survive Doomsday. It's called Doomsday. That doesn't ring off like, oh, well, everything's going to be fine. This is going to be a walk in the park. This is going to be easy. No, we brought back all these heroes. They all can't make it. They all can't make it to Secret Wars. Somebody's got to get out of here. How are they going to establish Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom with so many characters in this movie? Now, if this movie is, finished, produced, all that stuff, and it's like, hey man, this movie's 3.5 hours long, then my questions will pretty much be answered. They have plenty of time to, establish why is Tony Stark Doctor Doom, what universe are they from, establish some backstory, establish some motivation. How does he get involved with everything? How do all these other outside characters come back? Why is Thor back? Where do the X-Men come from? How do we get Namor in here? Shang-Chi, Shuri, all these different people coming together. We have a lot of time to establish those relationships. If this movie comes out and it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours if this movie's 2.5 hours long, I might be a little bit weary, because I don't know if that's enough time. Like, that's how long was Avengers Endgame. 2.5 hours long. Avengers Endgame might have been a little bit longer, and we saw how many characters were in that and how many characters didn't get a lot of real screen time. So it's going to take a lot to establish Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and all these other outside characters. Now, there are certain characters that we have been introduced to that I'm not sure we're going to see again. And whether it be in Doomsday or in Secret Wars, do we think that we're going to see Star Fox? Who is Star Fox? You probably don't remember. He's from the Eternals. Are we going to see Hercules again from Thor, Love and Thunder? Are we going to see Thor's daughter? Are we going to see the woman from Doctor Strange 2? There's been a lot of characters introduced in this phase that I'm not sure that we're going to see again. And it's almost like, well, what was the point of introducing them if we're not going to have some sort of plan for them? But those are my thoughts on the cast of Avengers Doomsday. I promise you I will be in the theater for the first showing. Thursday night, I will be there to see this movie. I believe in the Russo brothers still. I believe in Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. And I think with a cast this big and with this type of story, it's going to be hard for them to fail. But they have to prioritize the story. They cannot put a singular actor ahead of the story. They cannot put cameos in front of the story. They have to tell a great, compelling story. And I hope Marvel can do that this go around.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.